Hello and welcome to my review of the 1+1 ROM brought to us by VECTUS. I tested this on my LG G2 D800. There you see the 1+1 lock screen working. Here you go, 1+1 for the D800 version 1.0 by VECTUS. It's Android 4.4.4. And let's go back and first and foremost, let's say you're asking yourself, why would I want to install this ROM? Well, there might be a couple reasons. One, are you a fan of CyanogenMod? Do you favor lightweight and useful features but nothing overwhelming? Do you find yourself looking at the 1+1 and thinking you like the gallery or the lock screen or even the camera? Well, if any one of these was a yes, then give it a try. What do you got to lose, especially if you're a fan of CyanogenMod or CyanogenMod based ROMs? I will say that at first glance, when I was looking at the forum, I thought this was more of a direct port of the 1+1 CMS. It appears it's more of CM11 with some added features that the 11S comes with. So, and what I mean by that is that you don't get the ability to draw on the lock screen for activities. There are no options in here to set those up, so that's a feature that you would find that people were enjoying or not enjoying because of the torch going off in their pocket. I'm sure some of you have seen that, but I still wouldn't mind giving it a try. So what is included in this ROM is the 11S lock screen, like you saw already. You got CM11's Quick Boot is included, Hexo theme, along with some flashable icons, 1+1 boot animation, I'll show you that later, 1+1 sounds, audio effects, a very nice app, I'll show you that as well. Camera next, gallery next. There's a Great Freedom theme, screencast, which I did not test because I don't have anything to screencast with. DU cleaner, kernel tweaker, which is very useful. I'll show you that when I run a benchmark. And he bundles in there Hangouts, Gmail, and Play Store. So let's go through the settings here real quick. And I can tell you first and foremost that the tethering does work, and there have been no network issues. I leave my Wi-Fi off at work now because the Wi-Fi options that I have at work seem to cause me more trouble and grief than they do actually saving me power, because they prevent some of my email accounts from syncing or causing them to resync a few times, and it's just wake lock. I mean, it's wake lock hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. So going through here, you got screen security. You got your lock method here. Lock automatically, power button instant lock. This is exactly what you'd expect to see in this category here, so nothing really unusual or new, I should say. Again, here's your new theme chooser, something you're used to with the latest CyanogenMod. Here you go, status bar tweaks. You got your battery status style. Okay. You've got brightness control, which you can set. You got your notification count and double tap to sleep, which does work. Notification drawer. You don't have an option to change the background, so that's something that I have enjoyed on other ROMs on this one. But you still have the typical choices, which is, you can select the tiles that you want. You can do smaller tiles for the 4 layout, or you can do large for the 3. Got your sound modes there. Heads up. Heads up does work. I am using Heads Up as a notification system. I think that because they've only included Heads Up in here, there's an advantage. It seems that the ROM runs smoother. There's not 3 or 4 different ways to get your notifications to choose from. So there might be those that are a fan of, say, Halo, that would say, oh, well, I'd rather have the option of Halo or whatever. Well, sometimes that can be confusing and cause issues with a ROM that has too many options for notifications. So it's nice to see that Heads Up is the only option I got here, and it's a good option to have. It's one I enjoy. Again, notification receival is about preference, so you might have a different preference, and that's fine. That's just mine, and I happen to think that Heads Up is nicely implemented. Quick access ribbon, you can set that up as well. I don't use it because why would I? It's just, yeah, that's an opinion again. Sound. Here are your sound options. Quiet hours works. Music effects takes you to that audio effects application. Here it is. If we had something playing here, we would go through. We could change these settings here. Very nice. I find it to be a very attractive and easy to use application, as well as, the learning curve is very small. Going through here, I don't see anything that you wouldn't expect to see here on Cyanogen-based ROM. Display section here. Again, we're going through. Here's where you expand desktop style is, where you can hide the status bar, keep the status bar. You can disable the status bar on the lock screen. notification light, battery light, double tap to wake, which does work, by the way, wake on plug, screen off animation style. Your choices are the simple ones: electronic beam, fade out, or disable it. And then you have your color calibration here. Okay, so you can change your color calibration. Buttons, power menu, there you go. And call and pressing the power button. Buttons and layout. To note, you cannot natively reduce the size of the nav bar. I would like to see that as well. Again, preference. This is nice because you can do your torch. I got this up so it turns off the phone, or your Google search. Again, nothing unusual or not expected. Left-handed mode. Here we go. I mean, again, going through here, these are all what you would normally see in the buttons section. And really, that's it for your settings. So not a whole lot of customization bundled in the ROM, but I think that's a good thing because it makes for a more stable user experience. So Netflix works. This is using the, or it's recommended to use the KitKat modem that's been modified for AOSP by Dr. 87. So this is built on 4.2 Jelly Bean sources. Not a big deal. Mini ROMs, that's the only way they came. But more and more popular is becoming the KitKat sources. It fixes some issues like touch input in some high-intense games, where for some odd reason it changes the digitizer to a cursor or something along those lines in the code, and those games don't play. I think Granny Smith was one of the ones that was mentioned long ago. I did not test that because I don't play those types of games. However, if there is a game that you know used to not work and you would like for me to test it, hey, list it, and I'll be more than glad to try it out. Not a big deal at all. Let's go through some of these themes that they include real quick, just because it is that easy to change them. Theme packs, here we go. Here's that Great Freedom one. We'll do style, we'll do fonts, we're not going to do the icons. And we'll just do that real quick. You kind of get to see it. And now you got more of the stock Android buttons down here. You got more of the stock Android fill up here. And you got, it's more blue and white. It kind of actually matches my wallpaper a little better. But anyways, off topic, let's keep going. So you've seen just one of the themes it comes with, and I was already on the Hexo theme, so you saw that. Let's go ahead and show you the gallery here. Here's the gallery, camera, screenshots, downloads. I mean, it's a very attractive application. I found it to be a very attractive application. Very nice, different way to view your photographs. So temperatures and performance, again, I found this ROM to be a very good performer. Sometimes I would catch it after long periods of use, having some scroll lag. I don't know if it really transitions very well on the screen here, but you can kind of see a little bit of it. Nothing that makes this unusable by any means. If anything, it's just a slight annoyance, and I'll go back a page here, see if I can replicate it. You can kind of see a little bit of it. Not terrible at all. It does seem to have gotten better since I switched from Dalvik to Art. I'll say that. Also, temperatures, which was very surprising to me. The temperature stayed pretty cool as far as like operating temperatures with this ROM. I say it's surprising because there are developers who have been doing this for us for quite some time now and providing us with mini ROMs, and even there I've had some issues with it getting pretty hot playing games like Candy Crush. I don't know why that game is so intensive and heats up the phone, but it does. It did not have that problem, or at least it did not notice that problem with this particular ROM. Other than that, let's go ahead and talk about the free RAM. I'll show you right quick what you can expect. This phone's just been being used. It's not been rebooted lately, so let's see if I can show you. Well, sorry. I'll show you how long I'm talking about here. It's been off the charger for 7 hours and 37 minutes. And we're at 1 hour and 51 minutes of screen on time. And I'm at 805 free megs of RAM. And of course, free RAM could be considered wasted RAM, is considered wasted RAM by many, but there are those that still care about it, and there it is. On a fresh reboot, though, it does seem to be higher, more like 1 gig. So while double tap to turn off the phone works, double tap to turn on the phone works, you cannot double tap from the lock screen to get it turned off, just so you know. Minor annoyance, and it probably has more to do with the fact this is a port of the CM11 lock screen, CM11S lock screen. So just something that I noticed. I did only have one crash with this ROM, and I believe that to be the fault of SwiftKey. And let me show you what I recommend, and what would be very helpful to many developers is when you have a system crash or the phone slows down, locks up, and reboots. As soon as it comes back on, there's an application called SysLog. I'll link it in the description below. I've talked about it before in my other videos. Simply open that as soon as you can, change it to all logs, label it what you want to label it, hit take logs. It'll take that log and then it'll give you the ability immediately to upload it. So it'll save it on your phone and you can upload it to a source of your choosing. I use Dropbox. I send that link to the forum so the developer has access to it. Then I also look at it myself, and that's how I determined that SwiftKey was actually as the only issue that I had with this ROM was that SwiftKey caused a system UI crash, and in all actuality it has something to do with the IME switcher talking with SwiftKey, and this isn't the only device I've had that problem on. It must have been a recent update because my tablet is doing the same thing. Let's quickly talk about the camera interface here. It's nice, it's simplistic, it's clean. You got a panorama option there, video option there, press here, take a snapshot. Easy to focus. I'd be surprised if it can focus though, because it's pretty close. Settings, pretty easy to get to. As you see, it does support 13 megapixels. You can set the quality. Touch focus duration, touch focus mode, continuous picture. Okay, so you got plenty of options for taking pictures. You got your options for taking video. There you go. Time lapse, I did not test. I'm not sure exactly what that would do. See, there's a description here. Time lapse feature is off. Okay, it doesn't tell me anything. Press the circle here. You have a couple different options here. These are pretty nice. Settings here. You can go through. I mean, it's a very nice, clean, feature-rich camera, and it takes good pictures, and it takes them pretty fast. Of course, right now I was trying to focus, and it's not the best. Anyways, I'm a fan of the camera. I like the camera a lot. I'll just go ahead and show you a couple indoor pictures I just took today. So you can see here, color application is good. This is indoors, artificial light, not bright light, pretty dim actually. And again, indoors. But you can see here, I mean, the color application is very nice, especially since the light source isn't the best. And there we go. Alright, so I'm going to run a quick benchmark here. I was trying to help somebody in the forums earlier this week, and he was saying that he couldn't bench or get results where I was, so I just want to go ahead and show you a quick benchmark here. We'll let that run and show you I'm not cheating you. I will run the timer next to it. Of course, it's already going. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. Anyways, we're going to let that run, and I'm not going to take up time while it's going. We'll resume as soon as it's finished. Okay, so we're over half done. Let's talk about how this ROM actually performs in day-to-day tasks, because honestly, benchmarks, while they do give you a number to compare phones to as far as performance goes, there are very rarely going to be any situations where you're pushing your phone as hard as a benchmark is going to. Day-to-day performance, this ROM has been fantastic. It's very smooth. I think it's probably attributed to the fact that it's very lightweight. There are some features on here from the CM11S ROM on the 1+1, but it's not bloated with features that you wouldn't normally enable or use, or have to choose from 3 different ways of getting notifications. So I think that it probably contributes to how smooth the ROM is on the day, and I found it to be extremely stable. By stable, I mean the only crash I had, I pulled a logcat for, and I think, again, I'm no dev, but from what I could tell, it looks like it was my Swift key caused an issue with the IME switcher. And honestly, I've been having some problems with Swift key on my tablet too, so it might just be a Swift key thing. So there's your results, 32,970. We'll go to details over here and you can see it. Alright, now go ahead and stop that. Stop. Stupid iPhone. Anyways, so there it goes, and I will go ahead and pull up my kernel. Let's see, tweaker. So you can see what my kernel settings are at, and you'll see here. Alright. CPU parameters. I have it set to regular bench, or sorry, regular max, the regular low. It's set to on demand. And I haven't made any changes in here. I haven't had the need to. GPU parameters. I haven't made any changes there. Kernel. I'm using deadline. I did change that, and it's at 1024. I did not mess with the tweaks there either. So there you go. And again, I'll go ahead and show you what we're on here, just so you see. There it is, 1+1 for D800 1.0 by VECTUS. So here we go. This is my first full day of testing the battery here. It says I had a reboot there, but I cannot recall the phone rebooting. Must have done it while it was in my pocket or something. It shows a drop there. You'll see the wake locks are not too far off from my screen on, so not terrible. And then, not ignore that one, that wasn't for this. The screen on time is 4 hours and 33 minutes. It still had 13% left. This is some pretty hard usage here towards the end. And my wake locks email. This is because of work and Wi-Fi. I've been kind of narrowing down how to fix that. So I've been problem solving here. Here's another battery drain test. This is 11 hours, 32 minutes, 39 seconds off the charger. Actually, this isn't a complete drain test. This is just I'm getting ready to plug it up to do something else with it, or test something else with it, and I wanted to record where it was at already. 62% battery life, 11 hours, 32 minutes, 1 hour and 46 minutes of screen on time. And this is, again, this is me diagnosing this email wake lock that I have at work. Here's your ANTUTU benchmark. 32,521 will run one for you here on camera. Here's your logcat. This is what a logcat looks like, I'm sorry. This is one I took of a system UI crash. And if you know how to read this, you can kind of follow it through and see where we get some issues. And most noticeably, it's span exclusive. Exclusive spans cannot have a 0 length. And then Google Count Data Services get token prints. Okay, so what I've determined there is that that was my Swift key IME switcher. I did ask the developer VECTUS, and we both kind of agreed that that's probably what it was, most likely, by looking at the logcat. Another power drain test, 13 hours, 54 minutes. This is on ART, though. I've got 6% battery life left. Again, you can see I've been trying to get my wake locks under control. There's no built-in wake lock blocker. I would like to see one, but at the same time, whatever. 4 hours and 55 minutes of screen on time. And you can see it's pretty heavy usage, off and on throughout the day. 5 hours, 54 minutes of wait time. So about an hour of not using the screen. And so that was streaming music. So pretty impressive battery life overall, and very impressive performance. Alright, so if you go into your settings and you've enabled your developer settings, you'll see there's an option here for Quick Boot. Alright, so what happens here on Quick Boot, I'll show you. We're going to power the phone off. It's that quick, the phone's off. Phone's off. We're going to turn the phone back on. It vibrated. There it goes. It's that fast. Okay. and I don't lose LTE, which was a problem in the earlier versions of Quick Boot. There you go. So let's do a quick power on, power off test though. I'll show you the reboot animations. Reboot, reboot, and yeah, we'll time that. So in the forms, it's very friendly. Actually, it's exceptionally friendly in my opinion compared to some other ones. It's at 259 posts as of making this video. My post was the last one. There's no reason why you can't read the last 4 or 5 pages. I mean, absolutely no reason why you can't read the last 4 or 5 pages. It's just so short. Make sure when you install this that you flash the KitKat, the modified KitKat modem for AOSP by Dr. 87. I will link that in the description below. You do not have to flash gaps when you install this. In fact, I would not, because you might have you might encounter some issues and not be able to figure out where those issues came from. That was one of my troubleshooting steps that I took to analyze, battery drain and what was going on, is that I went ahead and reflashed the ROM and did not flash gaps. VECTUS, he continues to be very, very helpful and involved in his forums. He even gives out thanks on a regular basis to quite a few users who are reporting in the forum. I can tell you from going through the forum that it seems that LS980 and VS980, as well as the F320 variants, are the only ones I've seen reporting any kind of issues at all. And honestly, those are your usual suspects anyways. Of course, the LS and the VS use different hardware components, most notably NFC, than the other GSM LTE variants. And the F320 has a micro SD card slot, so again, that further separates it from what most of these ROMs are being built off of as far as a base. I hope you found this video useful. If so, give me a thanks, a thumbs up, or if you have any questions, please ask. I do keep a baseband backup, and I am actually going to go back that backup at some point just so I can play around with this camera and do a review just on this camera. I am looking for input. Do you prefer the phone like this, where it's more the camera's facing down, or my other videos where it's more straight on and the phone is at like a, I guess you'd say, a 70-degree angle or a 75-degree angle? Other than that, what else would you like to see tested? What do you use that you find issues with when you're flashing ROMs? Again, that's why I show you scroll now, because in going through forums I've seen enough people complain about scroll. With scroll might be a memory thing, because I'm looking here off a fresh reboot and we are looking good, but use the phone for a while and maybe it's just me, something I've noticed. I do notice a little bit of lag in the scroll. Other than that, I can't say enough positive things about this ROM. This has been a terrific experience. This has been a great ROM, and I do recommend it.